Hey everyone, it's Tony from Barlow Roots Homestead. Just wanted to do a final walkthrough of our pig hub system. I think the system we've put together here has been awesome for us this year, and I want to share with you some of the finer details of how it all works. So just with a broad overview of what we've got here, this is our hub, and this is kind of a modified spoken hub system for raising pigs, if you've ever heard of that system. So we've got a hub in the middle, and then around each side, around the sides of the hub, we've got pasture area or paddock area. Long term, we do intend to have a little more material growing in the paddock, in the pasture area. This was very thick, heavy woods, similar to what you see over there, just last year. And so we had a brush clearer come and chip up and mulch up everything. And that mulch is gradually breaking down with the pigs' help. And we hope in the next couple of years that we'll have some material growing in here. We may need to take down a few more trees. It's pretty shaded back here, but I do think we'll be able to get a pretty good pasture going behind the pigs. And then when they return to an area, they'll have some pasture. So currently I'm feeding right now, and we'll walk up to the hub. We've got 5 pigs in here. I've got 4 tire feeders. So I took old tires and cut around the edge on the top. Then we filled those about a quarter full with concrete so they can't be moved. And then we feed the pigs in there. One of the big reasons we wanted to build this system is I've never had problems going into the pasture area and filling troughs for the pigs. But my kids and other people we have watched the pigs, they do have trouble with that. They don't really want to be in with 300-pound pigs and filling feeders as the pigs kind of chase you around. So with this system, we're able to just take buckets of feed and dump the buckets of feed over the fence. We don't ever have to go in there with them to feed them. And so that's a really cool part of this system. Now we've got 5 pigs and 4 feeders, and I was curious how that would go. They do fight each other off a little bit, but it seems like each pig is getting its fair share. So you can see in the hub system here, I put a roof on it. I was nervous about the rain and them creating a really muddy situation in here, so we did put a roof over it. And we've got a exit and an entrance on each side. So this exit or entrance right here services these 2 paddocks. And while the pigs are smaller, you could certainly do smaller paddocks. You could break this into, if you had less pigs, you could break it into even more chunks. For us, we just are doing 4 chunks. And you can see I'm containing them with 2 lines of electric inside of the paddocks. And so you can see all the way around, we've got the lines of electric. And then to separate the paddocks, I just run 2 lines here, and I run them over to our boundary fence, and then that's electrified. So when the pigs were in our first paddock, I was running the electric over to this corner, from that corner to our boundary fence over there. And then when I moved them over to here, the way we moved them is I put them in the paddock and fed them. I locked them out, or I locked them in, and then I moved the fence while they were eating. They were none the wiser. And then I moved the fence and let them back out, and they were back into the new paddock. So it worked really well that way. Here's our watering system. You can see we've got a nipple waterer connected to an IBC tote. I do intend to to set up some a gutter system on this roof and fill this at least partially with rainwater. It wasn't bad. I think I've only filled it 2 or 3 times in the last 3 months maybe. But I didn't want the pigs messing with it. So we did put our boundary fence here so that the pigs couldn't get in there. So after paddock 2, they went to paddock 3. This one I just moved them out of over the weekend. You can see, I mean, they do some work in there. And like I said, they're helping us kind of mulch things up and break things down a little bit. And then now they're in paddock 4, and they've only got about a few more days here before they're going to be going to the butcher. So paddock 4 here, and you can see they've started working in there. So the Paddock system has worked awesome. The rotation has worked awesome. It just allows us to kind of spread the manure around. And as I said, long term, we do hope to be planting some field peas or other forage crops behind them so that we can have them eating on some of that stuff as we rotate them back through. I did want to share one other thing. So if you've raised pigs before, you know it can be a challenge loading them at the end of their time. And that's been a challenge for us as well. There's been times where we haven't been able to get all the pigs on the trailer. We've had to take 2 trips. It wasn't ideal. So my hope is with this system, we'll be able to take the pigs, we'll be able to take the trailer through the gate. We'll back it right up to our human gate there and feed them one morning, and then have the trailer there. We'll close down. You can see here's the gate they're currently using. So we'll close that gate down and lock it while they're eating. And then we'll be able to open up this human gate and filter the pigs through the human gate into the pig trailer. And that was the big thing we found. We just needed something fairly solid. Trying to contain them with 2 lines of electric when things get stressful, or even pig netting just wasn't working. So we needed a solid structure. So hopefully we'll be able to just put the food on the trailer and they'll just walk in. If not, we'll be able to use some motivation, some pig boards, and kind of just force them onto the trailer, knowing that they're not going to be able to make it out of that hub to get there. So I'm really excited about this system. This year we were kind of in progress when the pigs came, but next year they'll spend their whole time over here and get used to the system right away, get them trained on the electric right away, and really excited for how that's all going to work. So I really think for a homestead setup where you're raising 4, 5, 6 pigs, obviously this system could be blown up much larger as well. We're on probably half acre, maybe an acre here with total land area. We've got the permanent boundary fence that we did put up, and that's because potentially, on a homestead, we're thinking we may have goats in here. We've got pigs in here. Who knows what the future will bring? For now, we're running pigs in here. So the permanent boundary fence we put up. We also have a highway just beyond these trees. And so it just makes sense to us to have a little extra security to keep the pigs in. But yeah, the hub has been amazing. Feeding them in one place has been really good. I was really nervous they were going to really tear it up inside the hub, and they really haven't. They did dig a little hole underneath the water that I might fill with some gravel or rocks next year to help with that. But all in all, it has worked fantastic. And for a small homestead type setup, I'm really proud of what we've done here. There is a little infrastructure here and some time and effort to put it together. But over the long term, I'm really excited. And of course, we've got other areas. We've got wooded areas here behind us where over time, we could use the hub system and then maybe rotate them through this spot as well. For now, we're really liking just having them in the hub and use the pasture that we've created here. But that's the latest. I think this is a great system for homestead pig raising. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer questions there. But for now, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching this video here on Barlow Roots Homestead, and we'll see you again in the next video.